Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Canton City Council. With a quorum being present, the chair calls this meeting of Canton City Council to order. Roll call, please, Mr. Clerk.
Smuckler.
Here.
Babcock. Shulman. Here. Hawk. Here. Kimbrough. Here. Scaglione.
Here.
Smith. Fisher. Here. Hall.
Here.
Mariel.
Here.
Ferguson.
Here.
Morris.
Here.
All present, Mr. President.
Tonight's invocation will be given by council and member at large, James Babcock. If you would all please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Loving Heavenly Father, we come to you before our meeting to ask for your blessing and help us as we are gathered together. We pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of cooperation and enthusiasm. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Help us to work together and encourage each other to excellence. We ask that we would challenge each other to reach higher and farther to be the best we can be. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Member Babcock. We are now under agenda corrections and changes. Leader?
Mr. President, I move Rule 22A be suspended to add second readings of ordinances 12 through 24 to this evening's agenda.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend Rule 22A to add second readings to ordinances 12 through 24 to this evening's agenda. Are there any remarks? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Smuckler.
Aye.
Babcock. Aye. Shulman. Aye. Hawk. Aye. Kimbrough. Aye. Scaglione.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Fisher. Aye. Hall.
Aye.
Mariel.
Aye.
Ferguson.
Aye.
Morris. Aye. 12 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinances 12 through 24 are a legal part of your agenda. We are now under public hearings and we have no public hearings for this evening. We are now under old business and there is no old business for this evening. Clerk Doherty, would you prefer to do the resolution before public speaks?
That's your prerogative.
Okay. We are now under informal resolutions and we have one for this evening. Mr. Clerk, would you please read informal resolution number 15 by title?
Crest honorary name change to Watson Place Southeast from Allen Avenue Southeast, continuing east to railroad tracks to Solomon Cook's Way Southeast in honor of Solomon Cook Sr.
Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt resolution number 15.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number 15. Are there any remarks?
Yes, Mr. President, could that be read in its entirety, please?
Yeah, thank you, Member Smith. Clerk Doherty?
An informal resolution respectfully submitted by Chris Smith, Ward 4 Council Member on this 24th day of May 2021. Whereas Council is in receipt of communication 145 from Chris Smith, Ward 4 Council Member requesting that Council recognize Solomon Cook Sr. by the honorary naming of Watson Place Southeast between Allen Avenue Southeast continuing east to railroad tracks as Solomon Cook's Way Southeast. And whereas Council is in agreement with Member Smith that Solomon Cook Sr. has made a significant impact on the city of Canton and wishes to honor the achievements of Solomon Cook Sr. Now therefore be resolved that we, the members of Canton City Council, do hereby go on public record commending and honoring the efforts of Solomon Cook Sr. by the honorary naming of Watson Place Southeast between Allen Avenue Southeast continuing east to railroad tracks as Solomon Cook's Way Southwest. Mr. President, Southeast, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Clerk Doherty. Are there any additional remarks? Hearing none by voice vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion carries and informal resolution number 15 is adopted. And Member Smith, would you like to present that
Yes.
resolution, please?
Could I ask the Cook family if you would come here or stand, and I know somebody's going to Anybody want to take a picture? No, you good. I would like to present this to the family. I know most of you probably know Nate, but Mr. Cook, for those of you that do not know, Mr. Cook was the last really living parent in our section of the Southeast. And when I say that because we all grew up together, and Mr. Cook did so much for that community. Those of you may not know, but there was a church before the urban renewal came and sort of separated all of us. There was a church that was in Jackson Park that was taken away during the time of the urban renewal. Mr. Cook, along with a couple other deacons of the church, built the church that is now standing on Allen, Southeast. Yes. And he built that church with his hands that is standing now, and with members, and a lot of them is from our neighborhood. This is his family. He has been recognized by a couple of our mayors, previous mayors, and so this one we feel, Mayor Burnaby, you have a part in it. So I wanted to, leave a legacy of him, along with his family, and for all that he's done for the community. And I really appreciate you all being here and accepting this, and I want to thank council also for agreeing and adopting this resolution. So I'm going to let Nate sort of speak and say some words. I know he got something to say. And this is a plaque in his honor. Oh, okay.
Good evening, council. I won't take up much of your time, but first I want to thank God who blessed each and every one of us and blessed our family members to be here for this event, and ask him to watch over this meeting tonight and make it a very profitable meeting. The Cooks family, as mentioned, we have lived in the southeast section of Canton for over 60 years, and we live in the same household presently for almost 60 years. My older brothers and sisters, my siblings are here tonight. Want to thank them. Algie, Diane, Jesse, Gloria. Those are the siblings. Then we have nieces and nephews. Three things that I would like to share about my father, Solomon Cooks, who is the patriarch of our family. We had no idea when we were growing up that he was a businessman. Number one, he took care of business for God. He was a registered minister for the Southeast Church of Christ, which is still in operation, 1424 Allen Avenue, and was the longest living trustee of the original church that was located on Cherry Avenue. If those of you know about Jackson Park, those were the good days. He also had a personal ministry for incarcerated men at the Stark County Jail, and he would share a word for the Lord with anyone who would listen or anyone who would not. Number two, he took care of his business for his family. Our mother passed 40 years ago, over 40 years ago in 1980, and he never wavered in his role as the leader of our family until his physical death in December 2020. He was able to touch and to hold and put to sleep 6 generations of Cook's siblings. And he had impact on all of our lives until the day that he left. And we're here tonight to bear witness to his legacy. Number 3, he was a businessman for his community and for his neighborhood. The proclamation that was brought in by my sister earlier was about 10 or more years ago from then Mayor William J. Healy for his commitment for the community and things of that nature. Councilwoman Chris Smith frequented our house, I know, as a young lady with some of my sisters. I think Councilman Dave Doherty might have made his way through our household or through the neighborhood while on the southeast. And Kevin Hall, also the councilman for Ward 6, I believe. He actually, a couple years ago, cut firewood and brought it over to my father's home for him to put in a fireplace that he built for himself. And yes, he was a master carpenter also. If you had the opportunity to see the article in the paper from Habitat, they're revitalizing the Southeast Community Center, and they're starting off with the Southeast Church of Christ. And I really didn't know until I read the article about the impact that he had, not only with the church family, but with the community family. but with people like CEOs of organizations who sat at his home and drank coffee with him and actually took advice from him also. So it is with extreme gratitude and humbleness that we, the family of Solomon J.L. Cooks, have been requested to be present here tonight for the possibility and I guess the passing of Watson Place, 411 Watson Place, where we reside, that name of the street to be changed to Solomon J.L. Cooks Way. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, I'd like to say a word too. My name is Al.G. Cook, and I'm the eldest of the family. And I'd like to thank Christine. I've known her for years. And I thank all the council members. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you.
We are now under a public speaks, and we have two speakers for this evening. The first speaker is Miss Kimberly Bell. And I do not see Miss Bell in the audience, so we will move on to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Dolores Simonella? I didn't want to mispronounce that. Dolores, if you could please step to the mic. And if you could please state your name and residential address, please.
It's Dolores Simonello. I'm at 1207 20th Street Northeast.
Hang on for 1 second.
Did they shut it off?
Is it on? It's
Yeah, I don't think the mic is on, Clerk Doherty.
Maybe I'm just not close enough. Oh, all right.
There you go.
Everybody got checked out. I do feel pretty good here tonight, and I've been quite active in previous years with my husband and see a lot of familiar faces and things, rough spots that, you know, you guys help smooth the way. And never dreaming I would be up here and be able to even be up here. So first thing I want to say is good evening to the council members and everybody else. Short. Okay. I'm going to make it short. I was hoping, you know, the other person didn't come. I might squeeze in 6 minutes, but I was keeping it short. I'm here to address a problem of a business entity that wants to open and operate at 1125 20th Street Northeast. That's 2 doors from my house where I am right now. It's on a rental property, and what they have is a dog breeding business. This is a commercial, ongoing business idea. The renters have already placed a 6-cage barn. They brought it in, kennel on the property. I have submitted some pictures before. I have them with me if you'd like to see what that looks like. And this is a residential area. You know, I get my tax bill and it says property tax residential. I bought my property for a residential property. Like almost everybody there. We have another renter on our street. But this is where the problem has been since the house was auctioned about 5 years ago. This has been a very problematic house through the past few years. I'd have to tell you this again. This is a residential area, one family home, neighborhood, not commercial zoned for pet or for business. I grew up in Canton. Grew up in Canton, raised my kids in Canton, and, you know, always your age is an unlisted number, but I'm telling you, I've been there 50-plus years at the residence where I'm at now. I've seen a lot like you've seen a lot, seen the city change, but this is a good place to live, and we're going somewhere, you know? But we got to all go together, protecting one another. And this is my son says, don't do this, you know, but I got to tell you a little bit about how I feel about the city, and I got a fever for it, you know? It never gets old. I got a couple houses down from me, and it's exciting to see children and laughter, you know, and just enjoy them. And I'm not here because I'm against tenants in this rental. I open them with open arms. We want young people in there, but we don't want the business. This would open a can of worms. It already has. Because if this happens, it could be a precedent if something happens to somebody else. And that's why even people I'm about 2.5 blocks from Ridgewood, and some of the people I know, you know, they're hanging in there like me, and some aren't. But you know, they're concerned. You know, my question was, I says, you know, I live in the neighborhood a few blocks down the street from you, but I just want to ask you a question.
Ms. Manella?
Yeah.
You're permitted 3 minutes, so if you
sorry,
could please
but anyway.
bring your remarks to a close, please.
Okay, thank you. I needed that, and keep me in line. But anyway, since I grew up here and raised my family here for 50-plus years, I do not want this business operating here in the 9th Ward. I have 35 other people. I don't know how many on my street. You'll count them 10 or something. You know, I live in 1 block radius. And all through the 21st Street, all over Ridgewood. And I did this in 2 days in the heat. I don't have all that new technology. So I'm meeting people, and my son is meeting people. And we're hearing what they have to say. And I was asking the same question that I was going to say to repeat a minute ago. If this is you and I moved there and I wanted to put this in, would you be happy? Because you have a lot of big side lots. And this house happens to have a side lot. And you know, and then if they said, no, I wouldn't like that. I said, would you like to sign the petition? And that took a few days and some heat. But we got them. I gave them to Christina over there, that she's going to let you see them.
I would, Ms. Manella, I would encourage you to stay after the meeting if you could, but your time has expired. And I would encourage you to stay after the meeting so we can point you to talk to the appropriate person about the...
I have talked to about everybody in here. The only thing I would like to say is that we do not want this to be in our neighborhood, whether it has to take an ordinance or what. We've been through zoning, and I think every single person has some little bit to add together after the meeting today for you to discuss. Because, you know, it just doesn't end with this. This is involving a lot of things. And what we're asking is that this building would be shut down for this dog breeding. And I thank you for your time and patience, and I know you got to keep an order. So, and my neighbor brought me, and she can't stay the whole time, so we'll be leaving. But if you'd like to have the pictures, I'll be glad to leave them with you. Some of you have gotten them. You can get them probably, I don't know all that technology, but I do know people, and I know our neighborhood does not want this all across the board. And we've just begun on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Simonella. We are now under communications. Let the journal show that all communications are received as read. We are now under ordinances and formal resolutions for their first reading. Mr. Clerk, would you please begin with ordinance number 1, please?
An ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 49, 2021, declaring same to be an emergency, refer to Community and Economic Development and Finance. Number 2, an ordinance authorizing all funds budgeted in 7508 Jackson Canton Jed Clearing Fund to be budgeted at fund level, amending appropriation ordinance number 49, 2021, declaring same to be an emergency, referred to Community and Economic Development and Finance. Number 3, an ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Safety to accept grant funds from Hartford Financial Services, amending appropriation ordinance number 49, 2021, declaring same to be an emergency, refer to Finance. Number 4, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 49, 2021, declaring same to be an emergency, refer to Finance. Number 5, an ordinance amending Chapter 749, itinerant retailers of Part 7 Business Regulations Code, referred to Judiciary. Number 6, an ordinance amending Exhibit A to ordinance number 100/2011, as amended, the classification plan for non-bargaining unit personnel employed by the City of Canton, declaring same to be an emergency, referred to Personnel. Number 7, an ordinance amending Exhibit A to ordinance number 100/2011, as amended, the classification plans for non-bargaining unit personnel employed by the City of Canton, declaring same to be an emergency, referred to Personnel. Number 8, an ordinance authorizing the hiring of Mr. Bruce Bernhard to fill an Engineering 2 position in the Collection System Department, the annual salary of $62,500, and declaring same to be an emergency, referred to Finance and Personnel. Number 9, a resolution approving statement of services to be provided to the property owners in the Regent Avenue Northeast City Service Center annexation area. Approximate date services will be provided, procedure to reconcile incompatible zoning uses upon its being annexed to the City of Canton, Ohio, declaring same to be an emergency, referred to Annexation Committee. Number 10, ordinance authorizes the auditor to create the 2809 American Rescue Plan Fund, amending appropriation ordinance number 49, 2021, authorizing the auditor to pay all moral obligations related to this project, declaring same to be an emergency, referred to Finance. Number 11, ordinance authorizing the mayor, director of public service to enter into a grant agreement with the Community Building Partnership of Stark County, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $200,000, utilizing Issue 13 Comprehensive Plan neighborhood funds, and declaring same to be an emergency. Refer to Finance, Mr. President.
At this time, the chair would declare an in-house recess for Finance, Personnel, and Annexation Committees to meet in regards to ordinances 8, Resolution 9, and ordinances 10 and 11 on your agenda this evening. You are now in recess.
Mr. President, we will call Finance and Personnel to order. Ordinance number 8, an ordinance authorizing the hiring of Mr. Bruce Barnhard to fill the Engineer 2 position in the Collection Systems Department, the annual salary of $62,500, and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, thank you for considering this ordinance. As stated, this is to fill the Engineer 2 position. It's one of the positions we actually talked about a couple of weeks ago with the restructuring in collection systems. The purpose of filling this job is to help with the construction oversight and project development and delivery in the department. Mr. Bernhardt, he has a bachelor's in construction, approximately 28 years managing and developing public works projects. We think that the $62,500 salary that he has accepted pending council approval, that is certainly in line with what we've paid other folks in this and similar positions, especially with his experience. Again, we greatly appreciate the first reading passage so that Mr. Bernhardt's not kind of hanging out there waiting while we work through the hiring process. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions on this one? Hearing none, we'll sign it out. 7:24, that concludes joint session of Finance Personnel. 7:24, we'll call Finance to order. An ordinance authorizing the auditor to create the 2809 American Rescue Plan Fund, amending appropriation ordinance number 49/2021, authorizing the auditor to pay all moral obligations related to this project and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, some of you may have heard of this thing called American Rescue Plan Act that was passed in March. The city of Canton, when I originally wrote the communication, was expected to get $66 million roughly in this plan. Since the time that I wrote my initial communication, our amount has been reduced to $63,600,000, and we will be receiving the payments in two different pieces. The first will be within 60 days, so we should receive the first 30 million soon, and the second 30 will be given next year in the spring. There are 4 different eligible areas for expenditures this time around, and per the guidance that we received. The first is to respond to public health emergencies with respect to the COVID-19 or its negative economic impacts, including assistance to households, small businesses, and nonprofits, or to aid impacted industries such as tourism, travel, and hospitality. The second is to respond to workers performing essential work during the COVID-19 by providing premium pay to eligible workers of the county that they are performing such essential work, or by providing grants to eligible employers that have eligible workers that perform the essential work. The third is for the provision of government services to the extent of a revenue reduction. This is due to the public health emergency relative to revenues collected in the most recent full fiscal year, and they've developed in the guidance a formula that we have to follow for this revenue reduction. And the fourth is to make any necessary investments in water, sewer, or broadband infrastructure projects. So what we're asking for is for council to approve appropriations up to the amounts that are received by the American Rescue Plan. This doesn't preclude you from approving any contracts that exceed $25,000 if and when those come across our plate. We will come to council and ask for approval at that time. We are just now developing our plan of attack and developing ideas for the expenditures of this money. Since the guidance just got released last week and it's 151 pages, we're just now deciphering that. And we will be coming to council eventually here, probably in short term, and pitching some ideas and get some of this money spent.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Director Kraus, is there a website or a way this 150-page document can be obtained by council members?
Yep, I have it in a PDF. I'd be glad to send it to anybody that wants it.
And my name is sir, thank you.
Sure thing, I'll send it to everybody.
Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll sign it out. Move on. Oh, was there a question? No, okay. Moving on to ordinance number 11. An ordinance authorizing the mayor, director of public service to enter into a grant agreement with the Community Building Partnership of Stark County, Incorporated, in an amount not to exceed $200,000, utilizing Issue 13 Comprehensive Plan Neighborhood Funds and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, in April of 2020, City Council approved a $150,000 grant to the Community Building Partnership for a variety of programming to revitalize our neighborhoods. Part of that was incentivizing a homeowner investment by awarding 10% cash rebates, promoting the Healthy Neighborhoods program, and assisting low to moderate income homeowners with exterior building code violation repairs by working with Project Rebuild and some of their independent contractors as well. Community Building Partnership has been before you, I think, in the last 2 quarters with current reports. They have now expended the $150,000 that we gave to them last year. They have come back to us with a request for $200,000 to expand the program, particularly the portion of it assisting grants to low and moderate income homeowners who have building code violations to repair. This money comes from our comprehensive plan neighborhood funds, and all $200,000 are distributed to projects. No money goes to administrative overhead. Their administrative overhead is actually paid for by the Stark Community Foundation. So we found this to be a good program. I know that Maureen Austin has reported to you regularly on this, and we thought that this would be a good program to move forward with for the continuing year.
Okay, any questions on this? Okay, hearing none, we'll sign it out. This has been an incredible success, and it's great that we're putting more money into it and seeing it grow and continue to make a big impact in the neighborhoods. So thank you very much. It is 7:31. That concludes finance.
Annexation Committee, call order at 7:31. This is number 9 on your agenda. It's a resolution approving the statement of services to be provided to the property owners in the Regent Avenue Northeast City Service Center annexation area. The approximate date of services will be provided, procedure to reconcile incompatible zoning uses upon it being annexed into the city of Canton. I apologize for stumbling. Questions or concerns? Hearing none, we will sign it out. Thank you. Annexation ends at 7:32.
Thank you, Member Hawk. Council is reconvening after the recess. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we suspend Rule 22A to place ordinances 8, Resolution 9, and ordinances 10 through 11 back on this evening's agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend Rule 22A to place Ordinance 8, Resolution number 9, and ordinances 10 and 11 back on this evening's agenda. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker. Aye. Babcock. Aye. Shulman. Aye. Hawk. Aye. Kimbrough. Aye. Scaglione. Aye. Smith. Aye. Fisher. Hall. Hall. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
Member Hall. 11 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries. An ordinance 8, Resolution 9, and ordinances 10 and 11 are a legal part of your agenda. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we suspend statutory rules of ordinances 8, Resolution 9, and ordinances 10 through 11.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the statutory rules on Ordinance 8, Resolution number 9, and ordinances 10 and 11. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker. Aye. Babcock.
Aye.
Shulman. Aye. Hawk. Aye. Kimbrough. Aye. Scaglione. Aye. Smith. Fisher. Aye. Hall. Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Aye. Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
You've heard the 3 readings. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 8.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 8. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Showman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall. Merrill. Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
11 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 8 is adopted. Member Hall, can you hear us? I don't know if he's having technical difficulties.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
Leader.
I texted him. He's staring and looking at his phone. I don't know if that'll make a difference or not.
Aye.
There you go.
Thank you, Member Hall. All right, Leader.
Oh, my.
And we're on resolution number 9.
Mr. President, I move we adopt resolution number 9.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt resolution number 9. Are there any remarks under this resolution? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock.
Aye.
Showman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and resolution number 9 has been adopted. Leader.
Mr. President, I adopt resolution number 10.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance number 10.
I'm sorry.
No.
I move we adopt ordinance number 10.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 10. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 10 has been adopted. Leader.
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 11.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 11. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 11 has been adopted. We are now under ordinances and formal resolutions for their second reading. Mr. Clerk, would you please begin with ordinance number 12?
An ordinance amending appropriation ordinance number 49, 2021, declaring same to be an emergency. Number 13, an ordinance approving and accepting the replat of lots 405 and 406, declaring same to be an emergency. Number 14, an ordinance amending chapter 1131, definitions of part 11, planning and zoning code of the codified ordinances. Number 15, an ordinance amending chapter 1137, bulk and area requirements, residential zoning districts of part 11, planning and zoning code codified ordinances. Number 16, an ordinance amending chapter 1146, bulk and area requirements, business and industrial districts of part 11, planning and zoning code of codified ordinances. Number 17, an ordinance amending chapter 1131, definitions, and chapter 1148, special provisions for business and industrial uses of part 11, planning and zoning code of codified ordinances. Number 18, an ordinance approving Canton City water main extension to Saratoga Hills allotments, authorizing the Mayor Director of Public Service to enter into any agreements necessary for the extension of said water main, declaring same to be an emergency. Number 19, ordinance authorizing the Mayor Director of Public Service to advertise, receive bids, award, and execute construction contract, execute a professional services contract for construction oversight services, and receive grant funds. The amount of $750,000 in a 0% interest loan, and the amount of $750,000 for the Edgefield area Phase 1 water main replacement project, authorizing the auditor to pay all more obligations for related project change orders that are otherwise approved by the Board of Control pursuant to Canton Codified Ordinance 105.14, authorizing the auditor to establish the 5244 Edgefield area Phase 1 water main replacement project fund, amending appropriation ordinance 49/2021, declaring same to be an emergency. Number 20, an ordinance authorizes the mayor, director of public service to advertise, see bids, award, and execute a construction contract, execute a professional service contract for construction oversight services, and receive grant funds in the amount of $600,000 in a 0% interest loan, and an amount of $900,000 for the Edgefield area Phase 2 water main replacement project, authorizing the auditor to pay all more obligations for related project change orders and are otherwise approved by the Board of Control pursuant to Canton Codified Ordinance 105.14, authorizing the auditor to establish the 5245 Edgefield area Phase 2 water main replacement project fund, amending appropriation ordinance number 49/2021, declaring same to be an emergency. Number 21, an ordinance authorizing the mayor, director of public service to enter in a professional service contract with CTI Engineers, Inc., in amount not to exceed $172,368.79 for design of the 4th Street Southeast Sewer Replacement Project, GP 1338, amending appropriation ordinance number 49/2021, declaring same to be an emergency. Number 22, an ordinance authorizing the mayor, director of public service to enter in a professional services contract for the design of the collection system department, administration, building modifications, GP 1255 design, amending appropriation ordinance number 49/2021, declaring same to be an emergency. Number 23, an ordinance authorizing the auditor to pay all more obligations for the Pro Football Hall of Fame for expenses resulting prior to the passage of this ordinance and declaring same to be an emergency. Number 24, an ordinance authorizing the mayor, director of public service to enter into easement agreement with Hall of Fame Village Newco LLC and the National Football Museum, Inc. for the installation of underground utilities and a vehicle egress drive from Harrison Avenue Northwest to Hall of Fame Village property and declaring same to be an emergency. Mr. President.
Leader.
Mr. President, I move we suspend statutory rules of ordinances number 23 and 24.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the statutory rules on ordinances 23 and 24. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Shulman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries. You've heard the 3 readings, Leader.
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 23.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 23. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker. Babcock.
Aye.
Shulman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
No.
11 yeas, one nay, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 23 has been adopted. Leader.
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 24.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that you adopt ordinance number 24. Are there any remarks under this ordinance? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Shulman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
The motion carries and ordinance number 24 has been adopted. We are now under ordinances of formal resolutions for their 3rd final reading and vote. Mr. Clerk, would you please begin with ordinance number 25?
Ordinance amending section 35501, definitions of chapter 355, parking on private property of the traffic code.
Leader.
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 25.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance number 25. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
Motion carries and ordinance number 25 is adopted. Ordinance number 26, please.
Ordinance amending section 35504, sign requirements, liability of chapter 355, parking on private property of the traffic code.
Leader.
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 26.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance number 26. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker. Babcock. Showman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
Motion carries and ordinance number 26 is adopted. Ordinance number 27, please.
An ordinance vacating the following: Bar Avenue Northwest from the north line of part of Outlot 1395 to the south line of Fulton Avenue, SR 687 George Hollis Drive, northwest from the north line of Outlot 1401 and east line of 43285 to the south line of Fulton Avenue, State Route 687. Clearview Avenue from the north line of Outlot 1380 to 3 feet north of the south line of Lot 43265 and 43190 Blake Avenue. Northwest from the north line of part of Outlot 1416 to the south line of Fulton Avenue, State Route 687 Woodward Place. Northwest from the east line of Clearview Avenue to the west line of Blake Avenue. Northwest 21st Street, northeast from the east line of Clarendon Avenue to the east line of Blake Avenue, northwest, and 19th Street from the east line of Clarendon Avenue to the east line of Blake Avenue, northwest, approving and accepting the replat of the streets vacated above and lots 43139 to 43145, 43170 to 43177, 43179 to 43210, 43221 to 43232, 43245, 43250 through 43287, 43317 through 43332, 43340 through 43341, 43346 to 43351, 43354 through 43364, 43432 through 43439, outlot 1349 and 1401, and part of outlots 1395, 1396, 1407, and 1416, and declaring same to be emergency.
Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we adopt ordinance number 28. I'm sorry, ordinance number 27.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance number 27. Are there any remarks? And I'm sure they don't want it read twice, Clerk Doherty. So. Hearing no remarks, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
Motion carries and ordinance number 27 is adopted. Ordinance number 28, please.
An ordinance approving and accepting the replat of lots 23361 and 23362 and declaring same to be an emergency.
Leader.
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 28.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance number 28. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
Motion carries and ordinance number 28 is adopted. Ordinance number 29, please.
Ordinance approving and accepting the replat of outlots 305 and 306 and declaring same to be an emergency.
Leader.
Mr. President, I move we adopt ordinance number 29.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance number 29. Are there any remarks? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Smucker.
Aye.
Babcock. Showman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
Motion carries and ordinance number 29 is adopted. We are now under announcement of committee meetings, and our next meeting day will be June 7th at 6:30 for committee.
Mr. President,
Member Merrill.
Finance will meet June 7th, 6:30 in council chambers.
Thank you, Member Merrill. Member Schulman. Thank you, Member Schulman. Member Ferguson.
Economic development meet same time, 6:30, 7?
Thank you, Member Ferguson.
Mr. President,
Member Babcock.
personnel, same time, same place.
Thank you, Member Babcock.
Public property and capital improvement, same time, same place.
No.
Thank you, Member Scaglione. We are now under miscellaneous business. Is there any miscellaneous business for this evening?
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Leader?
Mr. President, what happened with Member Hall is atypical. I can hear some background noise coming over this thing that just gives me a headache. I am going to make the announcement today that based on the governor's decision that as of June 2nd, Ohio is opened up, that I'm going to invite everyone back here for council meetings on Monday night. If there's some type of reason, please come see me privately of why we cannot have a full council in this chambers, but I would appreciate that we can come up with having meetings down here on Monday nights and around this horseshoe like we did over a year ago. Any questions, concerns, like I said, call me. If not, it will be my intent to have everybody back on June 7th. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader. Member Hall, did you have a comment?
Yes, I would like some administration that now that summer is approaching us and kids are out of school, I've been getting asked a lot about what program is available for kids through the summer. So we can get a list of the organizations and their programs. So as I'm getting asked, I'll have an answer.
Mr. President, I didn't understand a word he said, and I don't know what that background noise is.
Member Hall, can you take it off speaker on your phone and let's give that a shot?
Is this better?
Yeah, it's a little bit, that is a little bit better. Thank you, Member Hall.
Yeah, it was asking the administration for a copy of the organizations that have been funded for summer programs. I have been getting asked what programs are available for kids for the summer. If we can get a copy of the organizations and the age groups that they are taking in for the summer.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Mr. President, we'll send that to all council members. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Is there any other miscellaneous business?
Mr. President,
Mayor.
I just want to remind all members of council, next Monday is Memorial Day. We will be returning to pre-COVID status, and we will have a Memorial Day parade. It will line up at 10 a.m. next Monday morning on McKinley Avenue next to the old Timpkin High School main building. We'll go out West Tusk and then turn into the monument area, and there will be brief remarks and a ceremony. We invite all of you, and we invite everyone in the city of Canton to attend, and please remember, next Memorial Day is not only a day for picnicking and swimming, but it's also a day to remember all those who've given their lives in service of our country. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Member Smith.
I would also like to invite each and every one of you to the Wayne Douglas James Park. I would like to invite each and every one of you to the Wayne Douglas James Spray Park this evening.
Hold the button.
On Monday, Memorial Day. I'd like to thank the council members that have donated thus far, and I would appreciate if anyone else would like to donate. You can see me. You all can come down and enjoy a day at the spray park. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Smith.
Yeah, you can swim too.
Is there any other miscellaneous business for this evening?
Mr. President. Oh,
Leader?
go ahead.
Sure.
Clerk Doherty.
Remember, when you are dead, you do not know you are dead. It is only painful for others. The same applies when you are stupid. Mr. President.
See, I during the meeting.
Thank you, Clerk Doherty. Leader?
Mr. President, I move we adjourn.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. Mr. Clerk, roll call vote, please.
Smucker. Babcock. Shulman. Hawk. Kimbrough. Scaglione. Smith. Fisher. Hall.
Aye.
Mariel.
Aye.
Ferguson. Morris.
Aye.
12 yeas, Mr. President.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming this evening.